Say VV Nation in the room. We're doing a quick mic check. Camera should be on. We got a lot of stuff here buffering. Gotta love new computers, my friends. The only thing not new here at this point is my keyboard. As you all know, we have a diatribe on the small keyboard here. My name is Thad Reed.
All right, Thad, you're good to go as far as YouTube goes.
Thank you. All right, folks, you can hear it from my producer. We are good on YouTube. Everybody on the YouTube side, glad you can make it this week. We got a lot to talk about. What a week. Started out with a office closure. It's been a long week. Why is it frankly that no 3-day weekend goes unpunished? I don't know.
Thad,
Yes, sir.
I don't think your mic's on in the community room.
I'm buffering in the community room. Yeah. Can everybody? Okay. Let me. Yeah. No, I know. Let me. All right, everybody.
There you go.
This is Thad Reed with VectorVest. Everybody should be able to hear me now. Apologize for the delay. This is what happens when you get a new computer. Hey, I got a new computer, everybody. I'd like to say a big shout out to all the support people behind the scenes that make this production possible, including getting this new computer up and running. Last week we had a test run with things, and, well, that was stressful for Thad. So here at VectorVest, a lot going on this week in the market. My name is Thad Reed. I'm an instructor here at VectorVest. Been here for well over 10 years. So glad to be here helping you all today and analyze your stocks. We are going to get started right here with VectorVest 7 real time on the homepage. Can everybody hear me? Everybody can see me. Okay. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Bruce. Julius, thank you. Thank you, Jerry. Ryan's in the house, everybody. Ryan Shook's here. Let's take a look on the YouTube side of things. Oh, great. You're already adding the stocks in there. Excellent. Good to see you, Sherilyn. Hey, John, glad you're here. Thank you. Excellent. We've got a good group of people here today. We're trying to grow the membership here at VectorVest. Remember, one of the most important things that we are doing here at VectorVest is Dr. DeLito's rule of rules. And we're going to really hit this hard today, and that is to buy upward trending stocks that are rising in price in an upward trending market. Now, of course, earnings per share should be rising as well. This is an old school Dr. DeLito rule. And we're going to hit that very hard here today, folks. If you know me, we are rule followers in the room. Let's get started up here in the quick list in the upper left-hand corner. A lot of news-driven stuff going on today. The Dow is down 231 or 0.47%. The NASDAQ is down 167.70, and that's with Apple having the best quarter they've ever had in their entire lives. Great quarter for Apple, okay? Not helping the NASDAQ. The S&P down 26, and the S&P 100 is down 3, basically unchanged. We are currently tracking 9,898 stocks here at VectorVest. We have 2,163 buys. Folks, we still have a lot of buying going on in the market. In fact, the sells is 2,129. Now, this has been a changing story. I'm down 8% today thanks to copper, gold, and silver. Yeah, tough day on the metals. Actually, really, frankly, a couple of tough days in the metals, right? You know what? We should add a couple of those and go over them today. I picked a great copper stock. I looked at it and go, man, this thing's so parabolic. I'm thinking about shorting it. That was like 3 days ago, and I was talking to Jerry about it. So, yeah, we could do that. New Fed announcement, market digesting. Yeah, man, the market doesn't seem pleased. There's reasons for that, okay? But today's the power hour. We're going to stick to analyzing good upward quality type investments that are upward trending, okay? So the buy, hold, sell recommendation looks fairly even here. We got 5,600 holds. However, the market timing gauge, the color guard is somewhat bearish. VectorVest does not advocate buying stocks at this time. Wow, 2 ticks in the red. Okay, I am going to, and I say it every week, today you should listen to the Daily Color Guard Report. It's right here in the community room for those signed into the community room. Now, remember, folks, we get 2 simultaneous presentations going on. We have the YouTube and the community room. In the community room, we are going to give you market guidance to help you understand what the color guard is telling you. We do it every day. The buy to sell ratio has improved, but it was below 1. And we had 3 ticks in the red. Currently, it's 1.02. Remember, that's a major component in the confirmed down. In the call column earlier today, we are in a downward trend on the confirmed call. Now, these are not official till the 4 o'clock close. Again, listen to the daily color guard report in the community room. Okay? All right. I got so much I want to say. You guys are just giving me great information, but I have to get through the homepage first. Okay? I have to. All right. So the MTI is 1.18. The underlying trend of the market is still above 1. Therefore, we are in a down up. Folks, we are in a primary wave down. Okay? In the confirmed call, our most conservative market timing signal here at VectorVest is currently up, but we did flash a red confirmed down earlier today. All right. So, a couple of things we're going to do. We're going to scroll down the page here really quickly. We're going to look at Midas Touch stocks. I'm going to left-click on the wrench. You can left-click on any wrench on the homepage. And what that invariably allows you to do, it's called the configuration wrench, is you could change many things. You could change this to VST. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, let's change it to VST. I'm going to make it, however, a large size and kind of a Christmas color. We call that at VectorVest, which is red and greens here. Some pretty tough numbers to digest, but MU, not bad, not bad. Well, we're gonna analyze MU today. This is nice. Look at this. Light's doing well. I like Light. Actually, it's one of my favorite stocks, just to be honest with you. But yeah, check Light out. Pretty good. Up today, 6%. So we got some good numbers here. The bad number right here, but that's a mining stock, and mining stocks are getting hit. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to left click on RS, and we're going to let this populate. And we are going to look at RS stocks. Bad day for RS stocks. Okay, and ultimately, let's go back to Midas Touch stocks. All right, so there's your Midas Touch stocks. We just went through Midas Touch, VST, and RS stocks right on the homepage, folks. We didn't even need to leave the homepage, but I can tell you this. I see a lot of red. I don't like to see red. Remember, folks, the program is color coordinated. What we don't want to see on the program is a lot of red. When I see red, better off dead, okay? All right, so I'm going to click on the wrench. I'm going to put this back to the normal size. Again, this page is completely customizable. It should read like the front of a newspaper. Now, we have been talking a lot in this room about newspapers, and son of a gun, newspapers up 2.69%. Wow. We're going to right-click on newspapers. We're going to view stocks in the industry group. Right-clicking at VectorVest, very powerful, okay? Let me just drag this over here really quickly. That didn't work very well. I apologize. Well, maybe I won't do that. All right. Well, we won't do that. But you could right-click on your computer and view stocks in the industry group. All right. Or look at an industry graph. I really like to look at the graphs of industries and sectors. I like to buy an upward trending stock in a rising industry and sector. And speaking of that, we're going to look at that in the stock analysis report. Over here, speaking about sectors, RT Sectors is right here. Folks, I'm going to do this. I do this every week. The Options Paycheck, that's a new and improved course. If you're looking to generate 3% a month, the Options Paycheck Experience is our newest course. It is looking to generate income. So if you're retired or you need income, we got a lot going on. You can look this up and see if this course is right for you. Call product support and ask about the course. Ron Wheeler has been doing a lot of great presentations. The Tampa 2-Day, this is our marquee event for the year. Best sales, best discounts. I like the All Access Pass. That's a great deal. If you like education, and trust me, I love education, The All Access Pass is a great value for under $2,000. Okay, so here we are for the Stock Analysis Power Hour, and there's you can register and join right here to listen to this spiel on how to generate 3% a month. All right, so there's the calendar of events. I actually get this question quite a bit because we do so much free content, paid-for content in VectorVest. Invariably, people don't know where to find that information, and the answer is right here on the homepage. All right. By the way, I love our YouTube channel. If you're not looking at VectorVest at YouTube, I beg you, I implore you, please go to our YouTube content. We spend a considerable amount of time making sure that our clients have the best opportunity for education and advancement of wealth through education. Okay, folks? Part of that education should lead to consistency and confidence, which is one of the things I aspire to in this room. And the other thing I want you to be aware of as well, right, is we are here to help you. So if you have questions on anything we're discussing today or anything you see in YouTube or frankly any of our courses, please call VectorVest and ask. Okay? We are here to help you with your confidence and consistently profit because you are an educated consumer. It's not just about the program, okay? It's about you as an individual improving through education. All right, so we're going to leave the homepage. We're going to start analyzing stocks. Any questions before we leave the homepage? Again, the homepage should read like the front page of a newspaper. Free, of course, okay? Right-clicking is an important function of VectorVest. Speaking of clicking, we're going to left-click on the Viewers tab. Folks, I created this folder. This folder is called the Power Hour. We are on the Viewers tab. I don't think we've ever done this. This will be new content. The Trading System Viewer. Let's do this for a minute. This is a little bit of a deviation. I didn't plan on this. I'm making this up. Okay? If you go to the Trading System Viewer on the Viewers tab at VectorVest, especially your YouTube people, okay, if you don't have VectorVest, okay, and you sort on a 1-year rate of return, how many professional money managers out there are getting what is that? What's that say? 155%? Okay, now that's an aggressive category. You could sort just like this, by the way. Okay, you could sort by category. Okay, this aggressive one right here is up 68%. How about 1 month? How many people are doing this on 1 month? Premier growth stocks. Those are great stocks. Premier growth stocks, green light buyer. I mean, who's getting these numbers in the room? Anybody? This is called the Trading System Viewer. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is part of what you get in a VectorVest 7 subscription. It's only 99 cents. 99 cents. Okay? So this is a great way to use VectorVest, and that is creating a trading system, and then you can backtest it. The stock viewer, we're going to run through this just really quickly. Right here is the top-rated VST stocks in the database, and here's MU. Here's Light. These are the top VST stocks. We're going to break this down in just a minute, okay? I'm going to do things a little bit differently here today just to spice things up. If I left-click on RV, we are force ranking. This is Dr. DeLito talking through Thad. If we left-click on RV Thad, this is what he should say. This is called forced ranking Thad. These are the best RV stocks in the database. Okay? Wow, look at all the gold stocks here. Okay? If I left-click on RS, these, and by the way, this is basically of 10,000 stocks, these are your best candidates. And here's clicking on RT. Okay? So the power of the Viewers tab in sorting 9,899 stocks by various indicators. Now, I like CI. Heck, I'd sort by CI right here. Okay? All right. So that's the power of forced ranking with the program. And right there, we just analyzed a lot of stocks. Just each time we clicked on one of those various indicators, we're basically looking at 10,000 stocks. I talked about that in a previous presentation that we did in the Power Hour, but I just kind of did a little bit different this time. And we're going to go back to the Watchlist Viewer. Again, I created this folder. Everybody knows the rules. This is 1 hour. There's a 1-hour presentation. I'll see how much I can get done. All right. So I've added a couple of stocks from people in the various rooms. I'm going to start adding stocks right now. This is the Power Hour, January 30th. Folks, can you believe it? It's January 30th of 2026. I cannot believe we're coming in on February. All right, folks, let's start entering in the stock, please. And I got to make a small adjustment here on my YouTube side of the channel. Give me just one moment, please. All right, there we go. All right. Ryan, thanks for your help in the room. I appreciate that. Thank you, Cheryl Lynn. Oh, here they come, folks. They're flowing. Everybody knows what a great typer I am, so just be careful. LQDA. ORIA. Caterpillar, great. That's great. Zim. Guild. Orla, excellent. CLS. UAMY. Let's go over to the community channel next. Oops. I'll retype that one in. All right. My typing, as everybody knows, not great. All right. Let's make sure this is refreshing correctly. All right. Very good. All right. Let's, folks, if you type in the same symbol, it will tell you that you've already typed that symbol in, okay? I'll give you an example. Let me type in MU. Now, see, it's already in there. All right. All right, let me start typing some of these in. CVX. Supposed to get a little snow here in North Carolina. We'll see how that works out for us. Like the ice wasn't bad enough. So still have solid ice in my driveway. I could ice skate in my driveway. All right, let's see. I don't know how many we have, but let's see. Yeah, I won't be snowmobiling anytime soon. I had to go to Vermont to go snowmobiling. And although I do love snowmobiling. If you know me, I love I love snowmobiling. I love cross-country skiing. I love snowshoeing. I love the winter sports. I just don't want to live around the winter. Okay? Let me go to the top of this list, please. Ryan says he's still fond of GRRR, but not the time to be jumping in under the market conditions. We'll make sure we look at that. Thank you, Ryan. Ryan's one of the fellow instructors here at VectorVest. Ryan and I, geez, Ryan, what have we known each other for at least 10 years now? How long have we known each other, Ryan? UAMY. Okay. Is anyone opposed to me putting a stock? 12 years I've known Ryan. Good grief. By the way, let's review. 12 years, man, that's like elementary school, junior high school. That's high school. That's how long we've known each other for, folks. You know, when you talk to us at VectorVest, I mean, almost everybody I know has been here more than 10 years. All right. And that's impressive. That says a lot about VectorVest, right? Think about it. If a large portion of your company has been there for more than 10 years, That is awesome. Okay. Yeah, I don't recall the gray either, and I'm not as young as I used to be. In fact, I think the goatee's aging me. If the Patriots lose in the Super Bowl, I'm shaving the goatee. I'm sorry, Desiree. Okay, my apologies. Should have said that out loud. All right. I'm a huge Patriots fan. I'm from Boston. All right, here we go. Let's get started here. What we're going to do is we're going to come up here. By the way, folks, let's right-click on one of these. This is very important. We're going to right-click, and then I'm going to come back through the list here really quickly. Let's right-click. View stock news. This is an excellent place to go. We use Yahoo here at VectorVest. You have a couple of choices here, right? But Yahoo is an excellent news vendor with VectorVest. Right here, the full stock analysis report. Absolutely everything you need to know about VectorVest is found on a full stock analysis report. And I'm going to read this to you. Stock analysis report, Friday, January 30th of 2026. So that's current information, folks. MU, Micron Technology. We're going to pick a popular stock that a lot of people own, all right? This is a semiconductor manufacturing stock. It is currently at $428.22. It is down 7.57%. This is unbelievably important, especially when you are an ETF investor. Business description, Micron Technology engages in the provision of innovative memory and storage solutions. I just aspire to be a great writer like these folks are. I'm always amazed by how people could word this. It operates through the following segments: compute and networking business units, CNBU, mobile business units, MBU, embedded business units, EBU, and storage business units, SBU. All right, here's the stock graph, which is absolutely fantastic, 200 to 450. And over here's the industry graph, and clearly this is an important graph to factor in. Both the stock and the industry are going higher. VectorVest, MU is undervalued, has a well above average safety, and is currently rated a buy. Excuse me, folks, 7.57. That's 1.74%. My apologies. So that's not down that much. That's actually kind of not a bad number. Thanks, Bill Juergens, for pointing that out. I appreciate that. I got to stop watching. My problem is I got to stop watching Netflix. I love Netflix. I got to stop watching Netflix during the week. All right. MU is undervalued, has a well above average safety, and is currently rated to buy. Recommendation reflects the cumulative effect of all VectorVest parameters working together. These parameters are designed to help investors buy safe, undervalued stocks rising in price. I want you to take a note. All the terms and definitions are in this report. Here's CI. We'll certainly be talking about that. We'll talk about GRT. MU has a forecasted earnings growth rate of 39%. We consider that to be excellent. This report is color coordinated. This is amazing to me. Wow, look at that. 57%. My dreams aren't that good. I'd like to be selling this product. I'd like to be in that sales department. All right, folks. So the moral of the story is, if you're not sure about a stock or you're vacillating and you don't feel confident, read the report. This is basically why you want to buy a stock. This is going to teach you not only the terms and definitions, but should increase your level of comfort. We talked earlier when I first started doing this about fact versus fiction. These are facts. And speaking of facts, let's get right down to it. Okay. MU is down 1.72%. This is a real-time subscription at VectorVest, as you can see in the upper left-hand corner. From yesterday's 4 o'clock close through 226, this stock is down 1.87%. The price is $427.595. The value of this stock is $613.86. So is this stock overvalued or undervalued? That's an important question here at VectorVest. Pick safe, undervalued stocks rising in price, Dr. DeLito used to instill in us. Okay? This stock is undervalued because price is lower than value. Okay? RV. I'm going to keep this real simple because remember, folks, you can always look it up in the stock analysis report. RV 1.78 is upside potential, and frankly, that's an awesome number. If I left click on RV, Orla is the number one RV stock in the database at 1.81. Okay. I'm going to left click on VST, which is what? What is VST, folks? That is the master indicator here at VectorVest. It is a representation of RV, RS, and RT. This is really complicated math. Okay. Upside potential RV. RS is consistency, predictability of financial performance. These two are fundamental indicators. And then finally, we have our technical indicator, RT, at 1.93. If RT is above 1, the stock is upward trending. Below 1, downward trending. Again, these are complicated mathematical equations. The brilliance of Dr. DeLito is making them on a scale of 0 to 2. Anything above 1 is favorable. Okay, so the VST score is 1.73. What's the most important thing to remember about VST? VST is the only indicator on Wall Street that is a mathematical combination of technical and fundamental indicators. All right, folks? So when we say it has a VST of 1.73, remember that encompasses fundamentals and technicals. Does everybody understand the power of VST? Therefore, Dr. DeLito made it our master indicator. Now, CI is a technical indicator. The comfort index, CI is 1.75. 1.75 is a monster number on a scale of 2. This is essentially price resiliency. So let's review. I'm a coach evaluating players. Do I want upside potential? RV, yes. Do I want consistency and predictability of financial performance? Yes. Do I want you on fire as we speak? Yes. That's RT. You have all three of those, you're on my team. That's called VST. CI means, well, when you're playing bad, you're still better than everybody else. Fair enough? I know that sounds easy, but that's what I'm going to say. Every stock in the VectorVest database gets a buy, hold, sell recommendation. Folks, down here is a slider bar. I'm going to slide this over a little bit. Okay. Every stock in the VectorVest database gets a buy, hold, sell recommendation. We're the only company on Wall Street, to become a buy recommendation. We factor in price rising. So what do I know? Price is rising. Okay? It's one of the 4 components that we factor in on a buy recommendation is price action. And we're going to demonstrate that in a graph momentarily, all right? Every stock has a stop line. It's a 13-week moving average of closing prices. We factor in company fundamentals. If the price is below the stop line, the stock will automatically be rated a sell, which means it is downward trending. GRT. Folks, one of the parts of our mathematical equations at VectorVest isn't trailing, it's forward. Forward guidance, and GRT is a forward number. 1 to 3 years expresses a percent forecasted earnings, GRT. Again, if you're unfamiliar with the VectorVest terms, right-click, go to a full stock analysis report, print one of those out. All right, so those are the various VectorVest indicators. Any questions on the indicators before we run? What's important to me, Thad Reed, is I'm a prudent investor. What does a prudent investor mean? Mathematically, RV and RS need to be above 1. If I'm a speculative investor, okay, RV and RS are below 1. It doesn't mean that the stock isn't going higher in price, but it means you are speculating. Regardless of whether you're speculating or a prudent investor, you need to know when to sell the day you buy a stock. Don't ever, ever, ever buy a stock without knowing when you're going to sell it. That should be put on the day you place your order. Does everybody understand that you have to protect yourself in this business to the downside? Okay? All right, so I'm going to click on VST. This is going to be the order we're essentially going to graph. I'm going to go up here and graph all. Okay? All right. All right, we're going to maximize this. Folks, just a kind of a heads up here. We're on the VectorVest Simple Graph. Over here at VectorVest, we have various graph layouts. We're going to choose the VectorVest Simple Graph. The star graph, very popular for swing traders and day traders. I like the Pro Trader Tommy DW graph. I like the near perfect indicator graph. I love the Midas touch. This is actually one of my favorite graphs. GLBRT kicker. Folks, if you're a member of VectorVest, play with the various graphs. Increase your level of confidence by understanding what options you have here. Okay? All right. So, folks, this is our graph layouts. I'm going to choose VectorVest Simple right here. That's the current graph, VectorVest Simple. All right. What is the VectorVest Simple graph? We're going to see the buy, hold, sell recommendation at the top of the page. Folks, I love sell, hold to buy. In theory, we're in this right around 96. Okay, let's just round up. Okay, sell, hold to buy. Remember, sell is downward trending, hold is essentially sideways, and a buy is upward trending. Okay. Now, we also have this blue line in here. I'm going to right click. This is the stop line. I'm going to right click on the stop line. I'm going to go to change type. I'm going to make this an area. We've all agreed in the room that this is easier to see in the presentation when it's an area graph. Okay? All right. Now, Stuart did a lot of due diligence here. Stuart's one of our great clients here at VectorVest. He helps out in a lot of the rooms for our new hires. This is one of the best parts about VectorVest. We're a family here, folks. We're all looking, not just the employees, okay, but people like Stuart and Cheryl Lynn and Bill. These are folks helping other people. That's the power of our communities at VectorVest in these various rooms. And he did a little research on Dr. DeLito, who wrote a great book. And this is from 31 years ago. Stuart did a little research in Dr. DeLito's book. If you don't know how to find the book, folks, I'll show it at the end of the presentation. Just remind me, okay? 31 years ago when Dr. DeLito wrote this book, Chapter 16, Stock Strategies and Common Sense. By the way, we're required to read the book. You should read the book. This is what makes VectorVest, is the book. We call it the little green book, okay? Teeny boppers, low price stocks with explosive price appreciation potential. Stuart did some homework, and this is what Stuart said. Dr. DeLito's book, 31 years ago, he chose MU and LNVGY, originally iOmega, now Lenovo Group. Ascend Communications is a Canadian company not listed in the U.S., and U.S. Robotics was bought by Unicom. Please review both MU and LNVGY. Okay. So 31 years ago, right, Dr. DeLito was talking about MU when it was a stock below $10, right? So we are going to analyze this stock right now. I am not going to Tampa Oscar. Oscar wants to know if I am going to Tampa. I will be hopefully moderating like I did in Vegas. So I'll be doing the chat rooms in Tampa like I did in Vegas probably. All right, so you'll hear me, that you'll see me, but you won't. Well, you'll see me if you're staying at home watching the presentation. All right. So we're going to now analyze this particular stock. And just for fun, in the bottom right-hand corner, I'm going to click on a 10-year graph. So 31 years ago, Dr. DeLito, 20 years before this, right, Dr. DeLito was talking that you should buy MU. And this is a sub-$10 stock. Now look at the price today, okay? The power of the VectorVest program. Now, the VectorVest Simple, we're going to look at a one-year graph. Sell, hold to buy, we're in here at 85. The stop line is rising from left to right. I want to see the price, aka the candlesticks, rising. I want to see the stop line rising. The answer is they both are. I want to see divergences. I want to see the stock price dropping back down and then pulling up again. Does everybody see that? Invariably, prices revert back to a mean. Okay? All right. And right here, the mean we're using is the stop line. Okay. Hold to buy. during this period of time presents us another buying opportunity. We're going to focus on RT. Now, over here to the left, when the stock is ready to sell, naturally we would expect what? RT to be below 1. Folks, that's what I expect to see. If the stock is ready to sell, RT is below 1. Goes to be a hold. Well, there it is. RT is doing what? It is rising off a low pivot point. Invariably, RT crosses above 1 and becomes a new buy stock right there or thereabouts. Okay, that is roughly in there. Let's just call it $93. That's a great setup. Does everybody agree with that? All right. The stock subsequently rises up to 425. That is a magnificent rate of return. Remember, Dr. DeLuto picked this when it was under $5. 30 years ago, Dr. DeLuto was talking about this stock in the little green book. Okay. So in the earnings per share here at VectorVest, stock prices, we believe, invariably follow earnings per share. The earnings per share is going higher from left to right. All right. So RT is almost on a score of 1.92. Earnings per share is $30.81. VectorVest does value this stock at $613.16. So this stock is undervalued. Now, I'm going to show you something here, not to make things complicated. I don't like where the value line is. I'm going to left click and drag that right there. I like value right under price. I want to see it. It's easier to see right there. Does everybody see what I just did? Say VV Nation if you can understand what I just did. All right. Now, I can uncheck the EPS, make the graph bigger. There you go. All right. This is the VectorVest Simple Graph, folks. VectorVest Simple Graph. And that is Micron. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate that. Thank you, Sherilyn. That's hilarious. Okay. James, thank you for joining us today. You've joined VectorVest vis-a-vis the mobile app. The mobile app here at VectorVest is an awesome tool. It's on your phone. It's called VectorVest Stock Advisory. It is a killer app. We get unbelievably high reviews on that app. If you go into, I'm going to just go off script here just for a sec because we're not talking about the mobile app, but the more settings in the bottom right-hand corner on the phone app gives you some great opportunities for stock screeners. So have some fun with those screeners. Two of my favorites are safest stocks with a buy rating and new buy rated stocks. Okay. Obviously, we're spending pretty much our whole time here talking about new buy rated stocks. This is an elongated buy. We're looking good here. All right. I'm going to move on to the next one. All right. We're going to start moving here really, really quickly. All right. COHR, Coherent Corp. There's our sell, hold to buy setup. Stock crosses above the value line. Let's add the value line on this. There's the value line right there, folks. Okay. It also, the value line pulls away from the stop line. All right. So that is a way of adding various VectorVest indicators here at VectorVest. We could check on that, and there it is. All right. So we've got two nice crossovers there. We got the value line crossover. We also, by the way, look at value pulling it above the price. Now, over here, it's what? Overvalued. That's the advantage of putting the value line on. It's just clearly visible to me that we're buying an overvalued stock. It is magnificent in terms of its upper run. So left click on value adds value to a VectorVest graph. VectorVest graphs are completely customizable, right? Last week, we talked about how to add a moving average to a VectorVest graph. Just as a review, we right click on price, add a moving average. You can do a simple, exponential, or a weighted moving average on a VectorVest graph. Just as a quick review to cover what we did last week. Now, I'm saying that because not everybody was able to attend. That's that was our bonus last week, how to add moving average and customize graphs at VectorVest. All right. So we got the sell, hold, buy setup right here. The stock's obviously rising. RT pivots, goes above 1, stays above 1. Look at this drop right here. Buy to hold, drops dramatically, but look at RT, really just coming down here. Okay? Really, the interesting thing about RT is it's really going sideways for a lengthy period of time before it really drops off. Now, folks, it's probably an earnings story down in the bottom left-hand corner. I'm highlighting earnings. We could certainly find out if it was, and that's fine, but we're not going to do that here today. All right? Where do we find the next MU? Please add CI to the graph. Okay. All right. So this is a good question. So we're going to get distracted here for a sec. Add parameter. Capital appreciation. If you don't see the parameter here, it's because it's already in the parameter field. We're going to left click on CI. The CI is 1.62. Okay. Does that help? Okay. That's a huge number. Okay. Oh, since we're talking about RS, let's add a parameter, capital appreciation. Let's add RS. We don't have to graph them, but we can see the number. How about we add RV? Folks, again, fact versus fiction. Okay. We're looking at a graph, both from a technical and fundamental perspective, look great. CI is 1.62, RS is 1.3, and RV is 1.49. This is great stuff. Okay. The earnings per share is 5. The earnings per share is going higher from left to right. I like how RS spends most of its time above 1. I love when RT goes below 1 and pops above 1. We have two beautiful trades on this particular stock, and it's continuing to run higher. Again, know when you're going to sell. Any questions on this stock? We value it at 146. The stock is, again, overvalued. We added the value line to the graph. Left click on the box. It adds value. You see the stock is overvalued. There's the stop line, 181.30. If price goes below the stop line, VectorVest will automatically rate the stock a sell. RT 1.79 on a scale to 2. That's awesome. Earnings per share is $5. CI 1.62, 1.3 RS, and respectively RV 1.49. That's how you do it, folks. Those are the facts. That's how you do it, folks. Those are the facts. Okay. One thing about the phone app, just to kind of reiterate what Cheryl Lynn said, we always have our phones on us, folks. I said to a guy one time, I was joking around, I said, let's install the phone app on your phone, and the next time you go to the doctor's office and you're waiting in the waiting room for an hour, let's see if we can't make you any money. Made $5,000 in the waiting room at the doctor's office. I said, geez, how long are you in the waiting room for? That's how you could use the phone app. Any watch list or portfolios you have in VectorVest 7 will appear in the phone app. Okay. I am gold. This is the easiest stock to remember. I love the buy, hold, sell recommendation bar. Awesome. Predominantly, sell, hold, to buy is really some great swing trading here just using that tool alone. Your price action is higher from left to right. I love the stop line. Let's see if the stock is valued. Stock is undervalued at $27.90. Okay. Now, obviously, we're having a significant sell-off today. There's a multitude of reasons for this. There's just a multitude of reasons for this. I don't have time to really go in there. Although in the community room, I did put in the reasons to some extent. In the community room, if you go up higher on the screen, I did, new Fed chair is certainly one of them because his policies and the dollar and other indicators are not necessarily good for precious metals. That's part of the answer, okay? Profit taking could certainly be another, part of it, okay? Thanks, Bill, for that. All right. You also get alerts on the app. Correct. All right. So value is $27.89. You folks know if you're buying an undervalued stock, that speaks to risk. Everybody should know the value of what they're purchasing. And one of the best parts about VectorVest is the value. The stop line is $16.50. We're still kind of a ways away from the stock becoming a sell. RT is 1.5, still well above 1. EPS 1.78, looks a little sideways. Not bad. CI, big number, 1.81. RS 1.34. RV 1.61. Great number, upside potential. By the way, folks, if you're swing trading, RV should be above 1. Does everybody agree in the room? If you're swing or day trading, you want to buy stocks with a high RV. What you're willing to compromise on is RS below 1. Does everybody understand that? You're buying lower price stocks. You're buying lower price stocks with upside potential. Okay, so that's what you get when you're swing or day trading. We talk a lot about that in the Jockey Club with Steve Chappell. All right, here's a copper play. Just magnificent sell, hold, to buy setup. You're getting in somewhere at this point, $100. You double your money. Folks, what's my goal? Double my money. Have a goal. What's your goal? Should be doubling your money. The question is what time period? That's the question. Okay. All right. So stock price is going higher. The stop line is going higher. Excellent. When it kisses the stop line and pulls higher in conjunction with RT rising, that's my sweet spot. Okay, so let's review the sweet spot. Buy, hold to sell recommendation. Price rising. Stop rising. RT going from below 1 to above 1. So everybody understand that. It's very specific. Just to define it. Write it down. That's a plan. Is the stock in new buy rating? Is the stock going up and pulling away from the stop line? Is RT going from below 1 to above 1 with a company that's making money? Okay? Remember, we're picking safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price with a rising market. Of course, earnings per share is obviously pivotal. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, we're going to start hitting these much more quickly. Bad day here. Very bad day. It has not been ready to sell, but man, the value line is, let's add it real quick. Still significantly undervalued. Excellent. The stop line, 1406. So, we're not too far away from the stop line. Okay? That candle suspect that, I think when I look at that candle there, wow. What do you think of that candle, folks? A candlestick pattern is very interesting. It's not at the day low. Okay? It's not at the day low. All right? So there it is. We got RT at this really high point. And now we're at 1.27. So here we have RT right here at a very low point. It pops above 1. Higher highs. Lower lows. And right here, well, that's the test. Now, in these times, I do like to add a parameter on this. I am a sucker for stock volume. And frankly, let's take a look. Okay? Really what this is telling you when you look at this bearish engulfing pattern, thanks, Rick. If you look at those two lines right here, we have a great class at VectorVest that teaches you about candlestick formations. Really important for swinger day traders to understand candlesticks. Okay? So we have 2 negative days of volume. And it's not like huge concerning volume, but nonetheless, it is volume to the downside as noted by the red color. Okay, I'm going to take volume off. Again, that's how you add a parameter to a VectorVest graph. Of all the stocks we're looking at here, you would have doubled your money quite easily on this stock. $5 goes to 20. Can we make some entry points in here? Well, I would have made an entry point there potentially, right there. Okay, right there. Right there, and right in here. Now, whenever I buy a stock like this, I say to myself, what's my sell criteria? Because to me, this is a little bit volatile for the stocks that I look at, and RT is constantly above 1, so it is upward trending. It's just doing so with volatility. Okay? Again, the value is $29.87, undervalued. The stop line is $14.06, not that far away. RT, 1.27. Earnings per share, 1.41. CI, 1.71. RS, 1.17. RV, 1.8. A monster number. That's kind of what I want to see. Those are great things, and there's your volume. All right, let's go to the next one. I love the sell, hold to buy right here. Pulls above the stop line. RT rises from below 1 to above 1. Now, here's the key here. You got to be making money for me to buy the stock. The stock is losing money over here. Now, take a note. The hold period, this stock really is going sideways. Now, earnings are dramatically improving. Maybe some people thought that was, to me, this is too early to get in. Here we're earning money. RT goes above 1. Price is above the stop line, and the stock becomes a new buy rating. There's your setup. Okay? The value on this, let's click on it real quick. The stock is overvalued. Okay? We value this at $38.19. This speaks to risk. The stop line is 35.43. RT 1.68. Earnings per share 1.61. CI big number 1.71. RS 0.86. RV 1.45. This is what we want to see as swing and day traders. Let's look at volume, make sure it meets that criteria. A little light today relative to its normal trading, but certainly meets the criteria for me. Anything over 250,000 shares is where I need to be, at least on volume. All right. This looks beautiful. Sell, hold to buy. There's our setup right over here back at around 50. RT goes. I love RT from a really low point to a high point. Okay. Stewart says gold and silver are both near the 50-day moving average, maybe an opportunity on a reversal. I would add them to a watch list. The answer is, when in doubt, add it to a watch list. Sort the watch list by RT. When those stocks start to swing favorably in your direction, the RT score will change. In other words, the short-term price trend of the stock goes from below 1 to above 1. They'll filter up the watch list when you sort by RT. That's the best time to buy those type of stocks. That is consistent, and that is what? In other words, always sort your watch list at VectorVest by RT. What gets you into the watch list, RVR, the proprietary indicators. But ultimately, when you sort the watch list by RT, it force ranks those stocks. Now, this stock right here is trading at the day low. That just pushed down to the day low. Okay, RT is dropping here. Again, look at that lengthy period right here. So the answer is, when do you sell? Well, I think it depends on when you bought this at. We have a rule of Dr. DeLito's. You should never lose 1/2 of your profit. Frankly, I'm a little bit cheap. That seems like it's luxurious. Okay. Earnings per share, very nice. Value. Let's click on the value line. This stock is overvalued at 184. The stop line is 200. The RT 1.64. Earnings per share 7.79. CI 1.76. Great number there. RS above 1. Good RV 1.23. And we got plenty of volume here. All right. So here's Caterpillar. Who knew Caterpillar was this pretty? Wow. Look at this. 350 to 658. There's just sell, hold to buy. Stock pulls out of the stop doldrums. In other words, remember, prices in this aqua blue color, it's rated as sell. It pulls above and becomes a new buy. RT comes from well below 1 to above 1. But here's the problem here. I'm not enamored with the earnings story until over here. Tough earnings. I mean, it's still a big number, but I like to buy stocks with rising earnings per share. Okay? When do you find that you make the most money? When it starts going above RT, RS, RV over 1. Okay, I'm going to kind of take a step back for a moment here. I'm putting players together on a roster. What determines you make the team is you have upside potential, RV. You have consistency and predictability of financial performance. You have a great GRT, forecasted earnings growth rate. Okay. You look beautiful on a graph. It's upward trending. Okay. The market's favorable. Everything looks great. Add it to a watch list. I didn't say buy the stock. I said add it to a watch list. Okay. When you make the most money is when RT goes from below 1 to above 1 and the stock becomes a new buy rating. Ideally, if I want to buy Caterpillar and it goes from a sell, hold to a buy. We track that at VectorVest, folks, in a unisearch search called Trends New Stuff. We have a search called New Buy Rated Stocks. We also have another search called, I want to show them to you, but let's power through these stocks real quick, and we'll try to do that at the end. That's my promise. We'll try to do that at the end. All right? So go to the searches, whether it's the VectorVest Stock Advisory phone app or VectorVest University. We're going to give you that fresh list of stocks every day. Every day, a stock gets a buy, hold, or sell recommendation. All right? So the value of this, let's click on it real quick. Wow, significantly what? Overvalued. The stop line, 582. RT, 1.41. Earnings per share is 22. CI, 1.52. RS, 1.37. RV, 0.70. Okay. All right. Let's go down real quick. To me, folks, this is not an upward trending stock. I'd have a very hard time buying this. It's not consistent. But if you're swing trading, okay, sell, hold to buy is where it's at here. I do like the earnings, but it's only 20 cents a share. If you're going to buy this, you better absolutely not vacillate on your sell criteria. Put the sell criteria in the day you buy the stock. We value the stock at 578. RS is 1.05, RV 1.62. Okay, but earnings only 22 cents. Okay. Left to right, beautiful story. There's a lot of red up there. Ideally, we don't want to see any red. This is one with a lot of red. I love the shipping industry in theory. Okay. Sell, hold to buy over here. You know, you're in here at 60 and it goes to 22. This looks on a one-year graph very sideways, dropping earnings per share. It's losing money. RT spends a lot of time below 1. The stock is valued equally at $21. It's tough to really feel enamored here. If I add this to the watch list, I would be, this is just ideally not the teachings of Dr. Delito and VectorVest. From left to right, it should be smooth, consistent, and upward trending. I feel the same way about Chevron, CVX, Chevron. Although oil today has had a big day. If I was going to look at oil stocks, I would look at ExxonMobil. Excuse me. Take a look at ExxonMobil and tell me that's not a good graph. Okay? CVX is, again, there's just too much H up there, which is sideways moving. Earnings per share going down. The stock is way overvalued. Okay? Too much S up there. Too much sell. Okay? Too much sell. Love this. Absolutely love it. Sell, hold, buy. Wow, I love it. RT almost always above 1. Now, here's the thing. ETF. We have no fundamental indicators on an ETF. We only have technical indicators, CI and RT, and both of those are great. I am a sucker for ETFs. Love them. Okay? Yeah, I can't touch Netflix. And I said, man, I'm addicted to Netflix. I love Netflix. Got to stop watching Netflix. All right. It's currently ready to sell. I can't buy a stock in a downward period. This stock has been downward trending for quite a while at this point. All right. So I'm going to say this is a difficult stock. All right. Folks, over on the right-hand corner of the page is the slider bar for those new to the room. That's how I'm going to the next stock is the slider bar all the way to the far right. I'm going to, by the way, S stands for stock split. If you hover over that, this had a 10-for-1 stock split not too long ago. Okay. You add those criteria on a graph down here in the bottom. Here's earnings. Okay. And I'm going to say, if you see those E's on the chart, the stock price is going down. That is not great. Okay. Yeah. You know what? If you want to speculate here and add this to a watch list and, have at it. That's the power of the watch list. RT is going to put that at the bottom of the list. Too much H up here for me. That means sideways moving. For me, this is ideal for a swinger day trader. Hold to a buy, sell, hold to buy. There's your big trade. Hold to a buy. Too volatile for me. Here's Lenovo. Not my favorite. It's on a sell, hold to sell period. Okay, so just can't buy it. RT below 1. Earnings per share rough. It is undervalued, but that's not good enough for me. All right. Irene, beautiful. Sell, hold to buy setup. RT going above 1. Earnings per share, not bad. Excellent. Hard for me to buy this one, folks. There's too much red on the graph for me. When you see red, better off dead. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you buy this at 451, you have no sell criteria, and today it's at 148. I mean, you may have to have acid reflux doctors take a look at you. All right, this is just too much. RT during this period of time, constantly below 1, very bad. Very bad for your health. And really, earnings per share is kind of dead on the vine. Okay, value 235. This stock is definitely undervalued. And SVC, again, a lot of red. If you're seeing the coloration of red, yellow, and buy is the smallest color representation on the buy, hold, sell recommendation bar, it's a downward trending stock. Literally right here is when this is telling me to buy, you should have sold. Okay. Why? Because it's losing money. Okay. VectorVest does not advocate buying stocks when, well, you're losing money. Okay. This is a silver stock ETF, actually. I'm going to have to add this to a watch list on premise and hope that the sell, which it currently is, becomes a hold, then it goes sideways. And then if it becomes a new buy, I'd be interested. I'm going to add one to the list because I may have time. Do I have time, folks? This is what I was looking at. See if I can type today. Let's just see what this looks like. Would you guys buy that stock? No. Okay. ConocoPhillips. So you really have to go laboriously through these, create the watch list. We are essentially done with the Power Hour. I appreciate everybody's participation in the room today. Thank you, Sherilyn. Sherilyn would not buy that stock. Great lesson. Thank you for that. I did Zim, but you know what? I'll do it again. Okay. Let's go to graphs. Type it real quick. I like where we're at with Zim right now. I just don't like the earnings per share being negative 281. If you're going to buy a stock like this, be very, very cautious to the downside. Know when you're going to sell. Here it is, folks. Here we go, folks. Unisearch. Here it is. What do we have here? Trends, new stuff, new buy-rated stocks. There it is. For all those people that wanted to know. That's today's VST, new buy-rated stocks, and trends, persistent trends. These are stocks that have been rated a buy 2 days in a row. And then there's trends crossover. RT crossing above 1, folks. Okay? Everybody knows the rule. It's called the Power Hour. Time is up. Have a good, safe weekend. If it's snowing, drive very carefully. I look forward to your participation in the community room only. It's been my pleasure to help you here today. Again, it's Thad Reed here at VectorVest. Peace out.